And we are back to the race for Austin mayor. We want to get into public safety. Earlier this week, the new police chief said there are more than 300 sworn officer vacancies still within the police department. And after that, police department has been working without a contract for more than a year. The city council is finally set to vote on one next week.
And we have crafted individualized questions for this segment. Mayor Watson, we will start with you. In your 2-year term, the contract came together in the last few months with a lot of extensive negotiations. Once that deal is finally done, how do you propose and how do you promise to our voters that those vacancies will go away?
Well, I inherited as you indicated in your question, a badly understaffed police department. And we've been working for that 2 years to try to get us back to where we need to get. One of the things that I really wanted in a contract was a long-term contract that wasn't 3 years and it wasn't 4 years. I wanted a 5-year contract so we could show greater stability as we move forward and as we try to recruit officers and try to retain officers. We were 6th out of 8 of the 8 largest cities in Texas in terms of what we were paying cadets and what we were paying early on officers. This contract will change that, which will create greater incentives for us to be able to attract and retain those officers. This is the first year in 5 years that we've had more officers start than we had leave. And I think that's because morale is up because of what we've been doing to show them that we have their back after years of being told we didn't have their back. So that contract will make a big difference because it will show the stability that we need to have.
And Mr. Bowen, your policing public safety policy points entirely to staffing, but if this contract on the table is able to address that, what else would you target in order to keep our city safe?
Well, one thing that would be great to target was actually Tuesday night I talked to an officer as we were leaving a concert and I said, what is your biggest concerns? He didn't know me from Adam. I just said, and he just said, our biggest fear is that we're having too many mental issues. We're having to deal with too many of those type of people. And that was very surprising to me when he said that was their biggest issue when it come right down to it, and having enough staff to be there at the same time to do that. So we really need to beef up those mental aspects of having those mental type officers to be there to help resolve some of those issues if they can, so that we don't end up with somebody being shot without any reason or whatever the case is because they're having an episode. I'd also like to work on trying to relieve that toxic environment that seems to be surrounding within the community and trying to get that community involvement back and understanding where that goes.
And just to ask a clarification on that, how would you get more officers able to respond to mental health calls?
Well, there again, it may be that we have a short staffing. Where are those areas that we need? Where are most of these incidents happening? Do we need to direct more officers to those areas? Whether it's in the homeless camps, whether it's in downtown. That officer alluded that most of the problems they were having was in his area was the downtown area.
Mr. Greco, in past interviews and debates, you have focused heavily on the current mayor's public safety policy, but we're trying to drill down on yours. What specifics are in your plan to ensure that Austin is a safer place to live?
Absolutely. We need to pay our officers well, competitive at the top of our peer cities because of the work they do. We need to continue to invest in the type of training, race equity training, community policing, so that our partnership between community and police reflects our values. We need a contract. We need to make sure that we also have enough money for the community investments like homelessness and addressing housing that keep our officers and our community safe. And we need to fully implement the Austin Police Oversight Act. But this mayor is rushing a contract. We should take the time to get it right. He is rushing a contract to get it in before the election, and now in the same leadership style that he brought DPS into our neighborhoods or wants to buy a $106 million property from one of his PAC donors, he is rushing this deal, and folks are now changing their interpretation of the deal. The head of the APA is now saying it doesn't grandfather the G file.
And before the rebuttal, sir, can you explain, just delve into how the mayor is rushing the deal? Because it has taken several years to come to fruition.
Because it was just announced that we have a deal. And when that was announced, the head of the APA said it grandfathers the G file, okay? Well, after pressure, now he's saying it doesn't. The budget staff of the city has said we were short during budget negotiations in the summer. Now they're saying we have plenty of money.
Mr. Greco,
so folks are
thank
changing
you.
their
Thank you.
Our folks are changing their interpretation of what's in that contract
Mayor, you
because of
have
pressure from the mayor.
right now 30 seconds to respond.
Perhaps Mr. Greco doesn't understand how the negotiation process
I understand.
works. But what's happened is we've had now, it's been laid out, people have had plenty of time, as you've indicated. This has been something we've been negotiating for some period of time. Today, our legal counsel, the interim city attorney, certified that this meets all of the requirements of the APOA. That is what we said we had to have, what I demanded that we have in the contract, is that it meet Prop A. It's now been certified that it does, and we ought to go forward with this.
Ms. Llanes Pulido, we will turn to you now. Your public safety platform online points to park infrastructure, lighting, as well as some other programs that Austin already has in place. Can you talk about what makes your proposed policies stand out from the people who are here today?
It's a more broad and holistic approach that actually takes direct feedback from our frontline staff, first responders, and community groups. I think it's important to remember that securing our police department is not just about funding. If we really look at the systemic issues over the years that have caused us these vacancies, there's a lot that has to do with training, retention, culture, morale, accountability. The division we've seen in our city on this issue has often been from bad policy. When I talk to people all over Austin who really want the same thing, a responsible, fast, accountable, and prepared response to 911. By guaranteeing this massive staff increase, we're not actually looking holistically at what EMS and fire are going to need, as well as other basic services that can make the police job easier. We also, are we going to have enough funding? We didn't apparently have enough funding in this past budget to fully fund social workers to be 24-hour responders on 911, which is a huge part of having an adequate response. So I would address this more holistically and from an outcomes perspective.
And Ms. Tovo, you supported halting the cadet classes and moving funding away from the police department in 2020. The Police Association largely blames your city council for that police staffing problem that we're facing now. And so with that in mind, what would you do to earn the trust of the police department?
Sure. Well, I'll say that the cadet academies needed to be halted because we had multiple cadets coming to council and highlighting different issues with the curriculum that were systemic and absolutely needed to be addressed. What I would do to build trust with the police officers is what I did as a council member. I served for my entire 11+ years on the police retirement board and participated in various community activities sponsored by the police. I also served on the Sobering Center alongside representatives from our police department. This was an initiative that I led council in opening. It's a criminal diversion program that diverts individuals who are publicly intoxicated away from jail, away from emergency rooms. It is critically important that we continue to invest in those kinds of criminal diversion opportunities. I also served on a council that, one, raised the wages for 911 operators to try to address retention. We also created that option when you call 911 for mental health response, as well as supporting MCOT, another emergency mental health resource.